Welcome to the She Did It Her Way podcast, where it's all about making the ultimate leap from your 9 to 5 and building a business and life you love, all while doing it your way. I'm your host, Amanda Boleyn. Let's get started. Hey there, and welcome to the podcast. I have such a great episode for you today. In today's episode, I'm going to walk you through the 6 steps that I believe will help you finally launch your online business in 2021. Now, these 6 steps are the ones that will help you move from your corporate 9 to 5 to becoming your own boss. And it's important to note that they are not the one and done steps. These steps require daily commitment to show up regardless of your current circumstances and results, because part of being a successful business owner or part of bringing in your future self and who she is, it is deciding ahead of time who she is being, how she behaves, what she thinks, so that way we can embody her today and allow it to physically manifest in our world. Now, before we get into today's episode, I do want to give a shout out to this week's iTunes reviewer. It is from CWAMNE, and it is labeled Really Helpful Podcast. There is so much information to gain from listening. The interviews are heavy on business tips, engaging, and real. It is a very unique podcast. I want to thank you so much for leaving a review, and it means so much to me, and especially it helps really impact others. And you might be wondering, how does a review help impact others? Well, if you're like me and you're scouring for a different podcast or a specific podcast on a specific topic, one of the things that you may do, which is what I do, is I go and look at the reviews to see what the listeners are saying about said podcast. And it really helps me understand, okay, will this podcast kind of give me what I'm looking for? Is it enjoyable? What are the reviewers? What are the listeners saying? And so because of that, there might be women who are on the same exact journey as you, passing through, finding She Did It Her Way and thinking about listening. And the first thing they're going to do is go to the reviews. And so if you've gotten any value out of the podcast, maybe this is your first time listening, so welcome for that as well. But if you've gotten any value out of the podcast, or if any of the solo cast or any of the guest interviews have helped you in some way, it would mean the world to me to just hop over into your iTunes app and leave a review about why you enjoy the podcast so much. It'll take less than 2 minutes, I promise, and it would mean the world to me and future listeners. So thank you so much. All right, so today's show is really all about, again, the 6 steps to launching your online business. Part of these steps are going to be a little bit tactical, and part of them are going to be a little bit around personal development and mindset. But if you've been a listener for some time, then you know that while I love a good vision and I love a good strategy, there's nothing I love more than very specific steps to take in order to reach our goal. So it's really blending the how and what actions do I need to take, and blending the, okay, how do I get out of my own way to take those actions to produce the results that I want. And these 6 steps have been rooted and have been sort of risen from conversations that I've had on the podcast with other female entrepreneurs, and then also conversations and coaching experiences that I've had with my students. And time and time again, guests have brought up some of these themes, these steps in their interviews, and saying that they've played a really big role in their success. So I want to bring you these steps, these themes to you today. So if you are somewhere that allows you to take notes, then I encourage you to grab a piece of paper, open up a note section on your iPhone, and get ready to take some notes. And you can always head on over to shediditherway.com and check out the show notes there as well. But this is going to be a juicy episode, okay? These are huge and these will change your life and what I want to say to that. So just get ready to take notes. Okay, without further ado, the first one is to master your mindset. This is key. We talk a lot about mastering your mindset on the She Did It Her Way podcast. And we do that because it is crucial in getting the results that you want in your life and business. I used to be someone that was so focused on taking more action, and efforting my way into a result. And when I finally learned that everything that I create starts with my mind, I was able to reverse engineer some things and make it much easier for me to achieve the results that I wanted. A common hurdle I see with new business owners is getting themselves comfortable with taking massive action. Maybe you're tuning into today and you've had an idea of a business that you have wanted to launch for some time. Maybe you've taken some action on that business idea, but it's really kind of in this dabbling space, meaning when you take the action, it isn't this all-in mentality. It's taken from a place of hesitation and trepidation. And you're certainly not alone. Taking massive action can be really, really scary because that requires you to just move forward, take that action in the face of fear, in the face of worry, in the face of doubt, and do it anyway. But here's the thing. If you found that maybe you've stalled out in the past, maybe you've dabbled or you haven't created the results that you want, it is okay. Because what I find is that sometimes we get so trapped by thinking about our past and beating ourselves up about the actions we haven't taken or the place in where we're at. We're not as far along as we think that we should be. And so in that moment, when we recognize the results that we created aren't necessarily the results that we've wanted, the default sometimes is to beat ourselves up, to shame ourselves, to get frustrated, to get upset, to think thoughts that, oh, I'm not cut out for this. I haven't taken action yet. Like, what makes me think that I'm actually going to take action and it's going to be different time around? Mainly because we've conditioned ourselves in the past. We've built this loop where the experience is that we get excited about taking action, but then we procrastinate. And so that becomes that routine. And so we're thinking these thoughts and identifying them and thinking, oh my gosh, what's going to be different around like this time around? Oh, I've already wasted so much time. I should be further along, and so on and so forth. Those thoughts lead to frustration, feelings of shame, feelings of irritation, feelings of disappointment, and they do not serve you. They do not serve me. They do not serve anyone who is desiring a different future, a different present circumstance, different results in their life. And so what we want to do is create our present and our future from our future, not our past. I am giving you permission that whatever you've done or haven't done up until this point, to let it go. What you did or didn't do in your past doesn't matter, and it does not serve you to hold on to it, and it certainly does not serve you to beat yourself up about your past. And maybe you find yourself holding on to that shame or frustration because maybe that's what's comfortable. But I invite you to practice having your own back. I invite you to create your future from your future. I invite you to put on that thinking cap of your future self, understanding how she would make decisions today so that you can embody her and bring her into the present moment, into now, and having your own back. I know this all too well. I actually stalled myself out for years in building a business because on one hand, I kept thinking I should have been further along. And then on the other hand, I thought that the way to unlocking and actually achieving what I wanted was to punish myself, was to make myself feel bad, and thinking that if I can make myself feel bad enough, I can then effort my way into taking action. I can then punish myself into taking action. And friend, I am here to tell you that that is not, one, a sustainable way of doing it, and two, it does not serve you. The place in which you get yourself into action is a place from love. It's a place from having your own back. It's a place from letting go of the circumstance or the results that you created in the past, because that doesn't matter anymore. Sure, we take lessons that we learn, absolutely, but replaying the past does not allow us to create the future of tomorrow that we desire. And so really reminding ourselves that our results are in a direct relationship with our thoughts. The thoughts that you think today create your future tomorrow, because what you think today is going to cause an emotion within you that's going to inspire an action or inaction that's going to give you a result. And so if you're not taking action and you can't motivate yourself, or you're kind of feeling frustrated, or you're feeling a little bit all over the place, then again, I want to invite you to join Elevate University. It's an accountability membership that helps you get out of your own way and get you into action. We unpack these mental constructs so that you can start taking massive action and achieve the results you want. I know plenty time and time again, I've personally signed up for courses in the past, and I know some of the students inside the program have signed up for courses and programs in the past with the best intentions of going through the content and just hitting the ground running. But for whatever reason, they've found themselves stalled out. and maybe they're collecting virtual dust as well. And if this is you, if you are finding yourself stalled out, if you are thinking like, this is the year, I'm tired and I'm done procrastinating and I'm done getting in my own way, then head on over to shediditherway.com/elevate and sign up for Elevate University. It will change your life. I promise. And this with the mastering your mindset is understanding that who you want to be and the results you want to create, and then reverse engineering it and asking, how do I need to operate and show up today? What are the action steps that I need to take today? And navigating those mental constructs so that you can achieve the results that you want and generate and create the money that you want to create in your life, and so that you can make your ultimate leap and live that life you've always dreamed and imagined. So the key takeaway that comes from mastering your mindset, what you can do this week is, if you have a goal or a result that you want to achieve that you're not achieving, unpack that thought that is driving the feeling that you feel that causes you not to take action or to take action. And so a simple example might be, maybe you're sitting on the fence of signing up for a program. Maybe it's Elevate University. You've been toying like, do I want to do this? Do I not? Okay, now's not a good time. All of these things, right? So those thoughts are getting in the way of you taking action on you just enrolling and then signing up and committing to that progress and that development. So again, take some time, take some space. It doesn't need to be long, but think of a result that you want to achieve that you haven't already, and really unpack it and identify the thought that's driving it, and see if there's a way that you can think differently about what is happening and about what it is that you want to do and what you want to create. Okay. Number 2 kind of goes a little bit with mastering mindset, but this one is invest in yourself. The quickest path to success is finding someone who is already doing what you want to do and going directly to the source. For example, if you want to learn how to build a virtual assistant business, rather than dabbling, rather than trying to go out and Google your way through and understanding the resources and trial and error, find someone who has a successful virtual assistant business and enroll in their program and or course. Because if you want to go directly to the source, you're going to save so much time and energy. If you want to launch a profitable podcast from the start, then enroll in a podcasting course, which we have one. It's Podcast Your Way, where I walk you through step-by-step on how to launch your podcast in 30 days. That way you are saving time and energy, not having to Google it. And especially some of you are tuning in and listening, and you may only have 5 hours a week to devote to building your business. So it's going to be even more important for you to invest so that you get the direct path to that result that you are looking for. The time and energy you save by having someone tell you exactly how to do something is completely worth the investment. And again, investing in yourself doesn't mean spending thousands of dollars either. There are low-cost, high-value programs out there, from how to launch a blog, how to do podcasting. Elevate University at the time of this recording is only $67 a month. And I know that I say only because I know that the value in there is 10x between the live coaching that you get, the monthly trainings, the core content, the bonus content. It's incredible. And even just finding those options that allow you to invest in yourself to move the needle forward can make a massive impact over time. So really identifying, asking yourself, what do I need in this moment? Do I need a coach and mentor to teach me how to build a successful virtual business? Do I want to launch a blog? Okay, where can I go find a course that I can invest and enroll in for that blog? What about podcasting? Identify what is that skill set that you need to learn in this moment? Where do you need that support? And then go out and do some research on different programs. And if you are questioning or wondering like which program is best for you, I invite you to email us at hello@shediditherway.com. And if it's not something that we can support you in, there are partnerships, there are programs that I've gone through, there are a ton of things that we know that we can help point you in the right direction. I've just had a couple emails come in last week where people have reached out and said, hey, Amanda, this is my business. I'm looking for a coach in this specific arena. Like, do you know anyone? And it was great because then I was able to say, hey, here are a few programs that you need to check out based on not only my experience, but other people who have also stated that they've had an incredible experience as well. So if you're like, I don't even know where to get started, just email my team, hello@shediditherway, and we will get back to you with some recommendations on where to get started. Because again, I want She Did It Her Way to be a place for you, whether it's, enrolling in one of our programs. If that's a good fit, great. But if it's not, then let us take out the time and energy and let us point you in a direction so that you can save time and energy and go from there. Okay. And that was a little bit of a tangent, but I know it's so important to invest in yourself, and it's really important to find the right investment. And that's what I want to offer up. We've been doing this for almost 4 or 5 years at this point. So I know a lot of different programs. I've taken a lot of different programs. So happy to share individual programs that I would take if I were you based on your unique experience. So hello@shedititherway.com. All right. The third one is validate your business before you leap. Once you know the business you want to create, always validate before you leap. Tendency might be to think that, okay, I'll figure it out once I quit my job and I have more time, right? Time is a constraint, and that may be the tendency where we think that we'll figure it out once we have more time. And the pitfall is that we think that time is our problem. And time is actually not the problem. It is how we think about the time that we have and what we do with the time that we have. If we don't use strong time management tools now, then when we get more time, you'll still be running into that challenge of not having enough time. And or you may also find yourself in a bit of a shock that because you have so much time, you don't know what to do with it. And I share this because I've seen it happen. And I share this because I've experienced this. Okay. It can go awry. And the most successful leaps that I have witnessed stem from individuals and women building their business alongside their full-time job. Whether they had kids, they have family, they've got school, they've got 60 hours of work a week, whatever that looks like in different circumstances. If they were able to build their business on the side of their full-time job, they learn the tools, they have the tools, they cultivate the tools and the mindset of what they need to know about how they manage their time, and being able to cultivate that lens and look at it through a strategic lens of, I only have so much time. What actually needs to get done in this moment to move the needle and the ball forward? And so when you have that cultivated as you are building your business along full time, then when you make that leap and you have that time, you are in a much better and stronger position to know what to do with your time. So part of validating your business before you leap is also getting you in the headspace of becoming a time management ninja. And it's also getting yourself to validate your business before you leap also allows you to build confidence in your ability to get clients, because once you get one, there's proof that there's always more where that came from. 2, it helps you understand how to get more clients once you get one. And 3, again, it feeds into getting more clarity on your pricing and your ultimate leap number as well. I've shared in previous podcast episodes the importance of understanding your leap number. How much do you need to make in your business that signals it is time to leap? And that leap number is different for everyone. You may decide that you want to clear out any and all student loan debt, car debt, credit card debt before you make that leap. You may decide that that's not really a big deal for you. You would rather just focus on generating revenue to get yourself in the position to allow yourself to leap. Some of you may decide that your leap is going to be indicated by making 50% of your corporate income because that's what you've decided that you can live off of. Every situation is different, but it is important to get clarity on what that number is, so then you can back into that number as you go about landing clients, pricing your services, understanding your time versus your money exchange. And it is so important to do the math on how much money you need to make in order to make that leap and validating your business. It will help keep you accountable in doing so. I have seen so many entrepreneurs make the leap, and the most successful leapers, if you will, are the ones that built their business on the side of their full-time job, regardless of their circumstance. Their ability to build their business alongside their full-time job set them up for success when they leaped, because not only, again, from a time management standpoint, but they also knew the path to profit. They knew the path to getting more clients. They knew their marketing. They knew their niche. So the takeaway that I am offering up for you on this one is identify your leap number and make the goal to validate your business before leaping. There are previous podcast episodes that I talk about this in January, where I talk about how to set your goals for 2021. I believe it was the last podcast episode of 2020. And it was all about how to set your financial goals as an entrepreneur, especially in the early stages. So how can you figure out what that good, better, best goal is? We also have a training on unstoppable goals inside Elevate University that is really well thought out, along with an entire goal metric tracking dashboard, if that's something that you're interested in as well. Number 4 is really making sure that your money and legal house is in order. And so a quick disclaimer, I am not an accountant, nor am I a lawyer. So what I'm about about to share is from my own personal experience. It's really keeping your business and personal money separate, whether that's through completely separate banking accounts or different checking accounts within your personal banking. That's really key, is just keeping that separate, having it cleaned. The tendency might be like, okay, I'll get to it later. I'll figure it out later. But the more that you can create a weekly money ritual of checking your accounts, checking your credit card statements, just staying on top of it, it's going to build in and cultivate such a stronger relationship with your money. And then also making sure you're incorporating your business to protect your personal assets. One of the things, we have a resource page on our website where you can find out all different resources, especially when it comes to incorporating your business. So you can do it online to make sure it is a go. And again, you can speak to a lawyer there as well. So if you headed to shediditherway.com, you can go under resources. You can also forward the money piece. I am a big proponent of keeping things super simple. Complexity is the enemy of execution. Anytime I find myself not taking action, I'm like, okay, why am I not taking action? And usually it stems from the fact that I've either overcomplicated it or I haven't broken it down into specific action steps in order to take action. So you can simply create a Google spreadsheet and keep track of what you spend on your business expenses and money that comes in. And again, you can just keep it super simple as opposed to thinking that you need to get on a robust software system right away. Also, inside Elevate University membership, you get access to last year's She Did It Her Way Summit content that includes a Google Sheet template from one of the speakers, Tess Wicks, and a course regarding all things legal. And I just want to pop in here. I did not expect this to be, I feel like this is sounding more like an ad and a commercial for Elevate University, but there's just a lot of tools and resources in Elevate University that I believe and I know will help you cut down the time that it's going to take. So anyway, okay, this is not a commercial for Elevate University, promise. So that's the fourth one. Get your money and legal house in order. Number 5 is play the long game. Building a business takes time. So this is, again, part of the mindset and committing to the long term and not being in a rush as you are building your business. There can be this tendency in the beginning, and I certainly experienced this too, of like rushing, hurry up. I need to get over there. And what was happening is that because I was so uncomfortable in the present moment, I was taking all this action to try to get out of the present moment and thinking that over there, quote unquote, was better. It was easier and it would feel better. But the reality and the truth is that no matter where we go, what we do in life, is that it's really important for us to understand and use tools to navigate through the present moment, regardless of how uncomfortable it is. And a lot of building the business in the beginning stages is so uncomfortable. There are so many low moments. There's so many moments when you want to give up that you are just like, this blows, this sucks. Maybe I'm not cut out for it, right? And we can take action to get ourselves out of there. The challenge with that is that over there, the problems don't go away. The frustrations still arise. It's really about how can I learn to navigate through the uncomfortableness in this moment, because over there doesn't really exist. It's going to present those problems. And what I have found is that when I was trying to hurry up and get over there, I was taking action from a place of rushing, which led to burnout. And I was just keeping my head above water. So then I didn't even have energy and it was really exhausted. And 2 is by trying to hurry up and get out of where I was actually bottlenecking myself from learning and understanding that lesson that I needed to learn in that moment to grow as a business owner. And so that, my friend, is if you're committed to a long term and you release the I'm not in a rush, I am here to show up, I am here to take action, I'm here to learn, it brings such a different sense of relief and also a sense of calmness, because where you take action from and where you operate from is going to determine how you feel when you take that action. And if you are taking action from a place of I need to hurry up and I've got to hit this and I've got to do that, that can potentially lead to burnout. And then it's also going to create frustration when you don't get where you want to be when you've set that goal. And so I highly recommend committing to the long term of building your business and making long-term decisions versus decisions based on outcomes when things don't go the way that you planned. So an example of this might be if you go in, you build this course, this product, you have this coaching program, and you do a launch, and at the end of the launch, no one signs up. It is so easy to think, well, I failed. No one wants my services. I should probably quit now. I'm not cut out for this, right? It's very easy to default, right? Because we're so vulnerable. We just put ourselves out there. We're doing things that we've never done before, and we're like, dang, that sucks. sucked. Like nobody signed up. No one wants my services. When what we can do is shift the way that we look at it and know that the outcome that no one signed up has nothing to do with your value as a human being. And it is not personal to you. It's simply, okay, how can I reframe this experience to say, how can I do it better next time? What do I need to change? What might increase someone signing up? Maybe it's interviewing and asking those that went through the launch that didn't sign up, asking them why they maybe didn't sign up so that you can better understand, and coming at it from a lens of curiosity versus wanting to shut down. The natural tendency with the primitive brain is to protect ourselves. And so it will want to shut down, but knowing that, okay, well, you know what? This is normal. Nothing's gone wrong. This is how it might happen. Every first launch is not a 6-figure launch, and that's okay. It's totally fine, which again, this plays into really making sure, like when you have your full-time job and you're building your business along the side, those, let me say, quote unquote, failed launches aren't entirely magnified as much, because when you go into a launch and there's so much riding on that launch of, I need to make money, I have to generate this income, there's a lot of pressure on it. And so when it doesn't go the way that we expect, then that's when it's really magnified and we get tunnel vision because our brain freaks out and we go into fearful mode. Again, when you have your full-time job and you have that security of that money coming in, you're less likely to be attached to the outcome of it and you're not as stressed. So that just, again, I want to reiterate, that's one of the benefits of keeping your full-time job as you're building your business. And the sixth and final one is learning this detachment from the outcome, which ties into a little bit of playing the long game. And this is really practicing the setting the goal, setting the desire, here's what I would like to have happen, here's my goal, and then releasing it and identifying, okay, in order to reach my goal, what are the things that I need to do every single day? How do I need to show up? And then allowing those actions and trusting those actions to take care of the goal. And when you're first starting out as a business owner, everything matters so much and everything is magnified. When you have a discovery call with a potential client that doesn't result in a paid client, it magnifies, like we get crushed. And again, your first failed launch, like we get crushed because we're like, oh my gosh, I put so much time and energy into it and we're so attached to it. But over time, you start to learn that those quote unquote failed launches are not truly failures. They're learning experience, and B, they're part of the process and we all go through them. The sooner you detach from that outcome, you stop making decisions based on that outcome and start making decisions based on the vision and the future self that you've set and decided ahead of time and cultivated, right? So if you decided to close up shop after one failed quote unquote launch, you are making a decision based on that immediate circumstance, not based on your future self of what you set out and decided to do, because that is short term and we want to think long term. So again, when you're detached from the quote unquote said failures and you are committed to your vision, you are going to show up differently. You're going to make different decisions in that moment and you begin to act as if you already are where you want to be, and you can help accelerate that process and you move through it. And again, like I said at the beginning of this episode, this is not a one and done thing. This is not okay, I've learned it, especially when you are looking at your mindset and you're looking at how you have wired your body over the past months, the years to experience something. This is never ending improvement. And it is constant commitment to showing up every single day, to working on yourself, being kind to yourself, having your back, knowing that nothing has gone wrong, and reframing those moments when maybe you're frustrated with yourself or something didn't go the way that you planned it. How can we reframe it? One of my favorite quotes is by the late Wayne Dyer, that when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And that comes into play so many times every single day, even when I coach myself about how can I look at this differently? Because when we look at it differently, we inspire and evoke a different emotion, which is going to get us into action and create the results that we want. And so to recap and land this plane, if you will, the 6 steps to launching your online business in 2021. Number 1 is really getting into mastering your mindset and doing the daily work. Number 2, invest in yourself. So find a program, find a coaching program or a course to invest in yourself to get you to where you want to be. And again, if you have any questions or you're not really sure sure which program might be the best program, email my team, hello@shediditherway.com. We can definitely present you with some options and point you in the right direction, whether it's our products or services, or if it's someone else that we know that either I've personally taken or other students have and rave about it. Number 3, again, validate your business before you leap. Practice your time management skills, know your leap number, and begin to become a ninja with time management, because then it's just going to set you up for success when you make that leap. Number 4, make sure that you get your money and legal house in order. Find a simplified way to track your money in, money out, and make sure you understand what legal entity you need to be in to protect yourself. Number 5, play the long game. Commit to the long term. Don't be in a rush. Don't operate from a rush. Operate from abundance of time. And number 6, learning to practice the detachment from the outcome itself. And so that we're not making decisions based on immediate circumstances, but we are operating from our future self and the vision that we have created. I am so excited for you. And I am just, again, so in great gratitude every single week that I get to sit down, whether it's myself recording or I get to sit down with a guest to bring you all of this every single week. So thank you so much. I am so, so grateful. And until next time, keep doing it your way. If you enjoyed today's podcast episode, you can head on over to shediditherway.com, where you can access the entire vault of She Did It Her Way podcast episodes. And you can also access free trainings and resources all about how to make the ultimate leap from your 9 to 5. And if you enjoyed today's podcast episode, I would be so grateful if you headed on over to iTunes and left a review letting me know what you love about the She Did It Her Way podcast. Until next time, keep doing it your way.